Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 24 of Behind the Stripes podcast. I'm Rama, Peroo, joined as always by Cowley College Hall of Famer and two-time JUCO World Series champion, Coach Dave Burroughs. Coach, good to see you.
Great to be here. I'm excited about today.
Today is going to be an awesome day, one we've been really excited about. We got someone that we have such tremendous amount of respect for, someone I had a pleasure to work alongside for many years, as you did. Today's guest, Dr. Patrick J. McAtee, former president, 25 years here at Cowley College. Dr. Pat, great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be on campus again.
Well, we love having you here.
Thank you.
Coach, I know, like I say, this has been something you and I, we said when we started doing this podcast, I think the guy that was at the top of our list, we said one day we've got to get Dr. Pat on here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Pat, we're going to start back at the beginning, kind of, if that's all right. We always love to do this with our guests, get to know a little bit about what life was like growing up for you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas, and came to Kansas when I was about 3 or 4 years old. My parents ran a restaurant in Ellsworth, Kansas, called the Ellsworth Cafe, and that's what brought us there. I went to Ellsworth Elementary School, Ellsworth High School, and I always had a real interest in sports, and in high school I played basketball and played tennis, and really enjoyed that. And I also got into theater in high school. I was in several plays.
Terrific.
Yeah.
The Ellsworth Cafe, did you work there along with your family?
Oh yeah,
too?
yeah. Oh, I did dishes. Yeah, waited tables and all kinds of stuff at the cafe. Yeah.
Gotcha. Any brothers or sisters?
I have 3 brothers. My oldest brother, Lou, who just passed away this last year.
I'm sorry.
And then there's my brother, Frank, who passed away several years ago, his second oldest. And then there's me, and then there's my little brother, Mike, who lives in Newcastle, Indiana.
Okay.
And he was a physical therapist.
Terrific. Well, you say sports, basketball and tennis. How did that kind of evolve for you? And theater, how did you kind of fall into those things? What made you attracted to those?
I don't know. I just always was interested in them. I was always interested in theater, and I was always kind of a crazy guy,
Yeah.
and liked to have fun. And one of the teachers at the high school was really, outgoing, and she got me interested in it. And so I got into several plays and went to speech festivals and stuff like that. And then had a good tennis coach there, and he got me involved in that. So just kind of evolved that way.
Well, and tennis ended up being something you pursued then and went on and
I
played.
did at Fort Hays State, yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Were you offered a scholarship to play there, or how did that come about?
I didn't get a scholarship, but I went out with the tennis team, and I was the number 5 player on the team, and so it kind of evolved that way. I really wasn't on any scholarships,
Okay.
because I wasn't what you would call, an ideal student. I was a guy that
Been there.
liked to have a lot of fun, and was a real struggler. But I got involved in the theater there in a big way. I had 2 great teachers that got me involved in it, and so that's how I got into it. And what was interesting was when I graduated from Fort Hays, I was walking around the campus, and I just had graduated, and I ran into the superintendent of schools at Hays High School, and we met and we kind of exchanged greetings, and I told him I was a theater major. He said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Well, we're looking for a speech and theater teacher at Hays High School." Yeah. And he said, "and debate." Well, I never debated in my life. That was one of my great subjects. So, but I did interview over there, and I got the job, and we did several plays and musicals there, and the debate team was outstanding. I had some great kids, and that says a lot about teaching. And that if you get the right kids, they have the right attitude, and you get involved with them and have fun with them and get and jump into it, and they became terrific debaters. We won a lot of tournaments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Coach, you know a lot about that, about getting the right kids and hoping to, put together a team like that.
Sounds like coaching to me.
Sure does. The theater aspect of things, I think that's great, Dr. Pat, because I know that once I came here to Cowley, and Coach Dave knows too, that we would see you and taking part in all the kinds of different things, like putting on the hits, Mr. Cinderfella, so many fun things.
Yeah.
And that was always great to see a college president that would kind of, you think of someone that's in that presidential role, this very stately, but it was so great to see you up on stage. And
Oh, I loved it. I loved being in it. An interesting story. I like to be in all those things and all that. And we had a meeting of the Endowment Association, and of course Harold Walker was on the board, and Bob Paxton was here, and we did a scene from The Big Bopper, and I did a scene for them. We did a little play before the skit for the Endowment Association. Well, Harold came to me afterwards and said, "Hey, we don't do stuff like that here." He said, "That's just a little crazy for us here." But yeah, I was involved in all kinds of stuff here. I loved every minute of it, and I hated to lose. They always pick winners, and I hated to lose. But we lost several times, but it was a lot of fun.
I think you had that competitive spirit, though, wanting to win no matter what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's great. Well, can you tell us then, you went right into the workforce, like you say, straight out of college, straight into the workforce. But how did you end up finding out about Cowley College, and how did you one day decide you wanted to be a college president? Tell us how those steps kind of occurred.
Well, I went to Barton County from Hayes High School.
Okay.
And as a speech and theater teacher there and debate. And I always thought I wanted to get into administration, and so I started taking courses with Kansas State, and started working on my doctorate at Kansas State. And so I went through all the jobs at Barton and teaching, and got into administration, and got into Dean of Instruction and all that, and was there 17 years. And I finished my doctorate at Kansas State, and I was just looking for a place to go. I interviewed several places, and several places I got turned down, but Cowley had brought me in for an interview, and I remember the board, Albert Backistow, and was on that board at the time. Harold Walker was on the board at that time, and I interviewed, and it turned out good, and we decided that we were going to make a break. I hated to leave Barton. I really loved it there, but I wanted to be a president. I wanted to do something different, and so we took the job in '87. And when I came here, this college was perfect in terms of, Gwen Nelson had positioned it in such a way that it was perfect for being ready to grow. Everything was stable. He had everything stable, and he was a real physical conservative, and so everything financially was in place. Well, I wanted to expand our footprint when I came here. I wanted to reach out and expand our outreach sites and that, and to do the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to expand the theater, here, and sports. I wanted to expand to them, and all that, takes money. You got to have money. Right. So what was on my mind was, at that time, you had to increase your enrollment if you wanted to get more income, because you couldn't raise the taxes on the taxpayers locally, which was part of your budget. But the other part was tuition and getting funds from outside. So we expanded our outreach footprint and went into Mulvane, went into Wichita, and created a lot of extra finance for us, which allowed us to expand the campus with our buildings and our programs. Yeah.
Terrific. Yeah, and Coach, you were here for a lot of that. You two were hired on the same exact day then, right? So July 1st, 1987.
Well, they hit 1 for 2. They went 500. They struck out on me and hit a home run with him. So
No, I think we need to thank Albert Backistow, and all those members that were part of the board for making the right decision and giving Dr. McAtee the opportunity to become president at Cowley College. Because you look around this campus, and I came here in 23 years ago, and the Brown Center was still relatively new at that time, but that was one of your tremendous investments on this campus, bringing the Brown Center, the Webb Browns Academic Center, like you said, the outreaches in Wichita and Mulvane, the Travis Hafner Training Center, the renovations to W.S. Scott Auditorium, the dorms. You could go on and on. 15 plus buildings during your time here as president. Is there any one of those that you're most proud of, though, of what you were able to accomplish?
I loved them all. I loved all the projects, all the buildings. But being a theater buff, moving that theater from the Cracker Box that was here in Kelly Johnson to the big theater over there was just the joy of my life. And I was fortunate to get the support of the Browns, Bob Brown and Roger Brown, and to help, and then Bill Docking jumped in too and helped with that. But we had a lot of good supporters to help build that building, and and it really did. It really moved our campus from here to across the street and made it, a real pleasant view of the campus. And so I really like that. Probably one of the best.
I would agree with that. And you would have to say the Travis Hafner Training Center has been quite an investment too, right, Coach?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think all the buildings we're talking about just kind of incorporated to one, and it made everybody proud because we all got to share in it, and we got to see the vision and got to be a part of it. So yeah, it was a big deal. And the half, and that's one of my favorite memories that I can, going to the World Series obviously is great, but Dr. Pat, Coach Tom Lefty, and I went to Kansas City, talked to half about whatever those guys talked about me. I was just along for the ride, But that was a great memory. We get to go down on the field, got to take Dr. Pat underneath the stadium and into the dugout.
That was really great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it was really great that Hafner helped support us for that building.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dr. Pat, can you tell us, how would you describe your leadership style? Because just me, being here, and obviously we all think of things back, as everything was just great back in the old days. But no, your leadership style, it seemed like such a family during your time at Cal.
It was a family, and that's probably one of my proudest moments is that we were a family. I always looked to find, the best people that I could find. And the other thing in my leadership style was to give them everything they needed to succeed. Whatever they needed to succeed, I wanted to try to give them that so they could be the best that they could be. And so that was my style, was to try to, with the theater, and I remember the day I interviewed Dion Ewing, and I knew from the moment she came into my office that she was the one to really make our theater program pop. I could just tell from her personality and the kind of person she was, and she did. She was amazing. She made that program expand just really, really, really great. And then Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah.
He was a great young man. Great stage manager, and turned out to be a great director of theater in helping Dion. But he was fantastic. Another person I would mention is Terry Morrow.
Oh yes, definitely.
She was our endowment director, and quite frankly, without her, I couldn't have built all these buildings. She was instrumental in going out and helping to raise the funds and get the funds going so we could build these buildings. But I had so many great people amongst you. You're among them, of great people that has helped make this place what it is and what it become. But that was my leadership style, and we did create a family here. I think it was a good family, and everybody was pretty much got along. We had a few disputes, but not many, and it all seemed to work.
It sure did. I'm so glad you brought up Terry Morrow. When I was first hired on here, I worked very closely with Terry. We were all in the same little office area, myself and Terry and Stu Ostertoon and Ellen Kelly, and Terry was so good to me and did so much for the school. So I'm very glad you brought her up.
Yeah.
You mentioned Dion and Scott, and I would be remiss. I mean, we would leave so many people out, but I just felt like yourself and the board, they did such a good job at that time of knowing who would be right for these fits, these positions. I mean, Connie Donatelli leading the music department.
Connie Donatelli, that's another one, yes.
Oh, I mean, with Connie and Dion and Scott, it just seemed like a rock star group of team that would go out and just had such energy, and who wouldn't want to come be a part of that if you were a student?
Yep, Connie was fantastic. She was effervescent and created great singing groups. Really a great gal.
Oh, yeah. And then, everything here. I mean, we've had so much great, with Mark Flickinger in the art department and just so many different individuals. And then athletics-wise, I've always thought it was, like I say, you and Tom Saya, our athletic director at the time, just what a perfect pairing. I've always said it's so important to have a president and an athletic director that, that are on the same page, can work together, want the same kind of goals. Like you said, give the coaches or your teachers, instructors, give them what they need, and then send them on their way to be successful.
Yeah, Tom was a great guy, a great, fantastic guy. We wanted to expand the program. We wanted to expand the athletics at the college, and he was a great person to help get us to do that, get it done. And he had such an effervescent personality himself. We became good friends, and he put life into all the programs, all the sports programs, and he was as crazy about them as I was. So they really turned out to be really good.
So, Coach Dave, talk a little bit about, what it meant for you to be able to have someone like Dr. Pat and Tom Saya in your corner and to be able to help give you what you needed to be successful.
Well, first of all, there was a lot of positive energy at our institution. I mean, everybody was grabbing a hold and pulling the rope in the same direction, to use an athletic phrase. But I always thought his athletic or his leadership style was a family business, and I think you probably attest to that is by he worked at a family restaurant.
That's right.
And it wasn't a corporate thing. He made decisions that was what was best for our family, and sometimes it was good for all of us, and there were other times when it maybe people might not agreed with it, but it was a family business, and I think when you do that, you care about people and you try to do the right thing by them.
For sure.
That was the seat. Like I said, I had a front row seat. I was pretty lucky. Blessed, lucky, happened, very, very fortunate. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Hey, Coach Dave, I loved the baseball program under your leadership. I loved it.
Well, I appreciate it.
I loved going out to the games, watching you coach, and it's a highlight of my career that you went to the World Series and won it back to back. I was never so excited, and it was wonderful to go to those World Series games, and your leadership that created that history for our college to win the World Series back to back. That's one of my highlights. Really, I loved it so much. I'll never forget the first World Series championship. And Hafner hit that home run off that scoreboard.
Knocked it down.
And I remember, I think this was the game that I thought you'd lost your mind. You remember who was that great pitcher we had?
Aaron Aiken.
Yes, Aaron Aiken. We were going along, game was a little tight, and you finally brought in Aaron. And I said, well, this son bitch is over. I said, because this guy is an all-world.
First rounder.
First rounder. What does Coach Dave do? He takes him out. He pulls him out of the game because
So you're thinking, what in the world are you doing?
Yeah, I thought, what's going on? Yeah. But he knew that it was time to move from take him out and bring somebody else in.
Well, there was a couple of different things. I mean, he'd only thrown it 2 days before.
Yeah.
He had a future in baseball. We didn't want to wreck him, and he wanted the ball, but we just asked him to get 3 or 4 outs. And then there's a thing called matchups that analytics wasn't you know, it wasn't around back then, but they had some left-handed hitters, so we brought Pearson in.
Yeah.
And we just
Bring a
tried to mix.
left-handed pitcher in.
It was, yeah. He knew what he was doing. But I, at the time, I thought, man, what's going on?
Yeah. Coach Tom told me that story. He said, it wasn't me now, but it's what Dr. Pat said. I'm like, okay.
But I love the.
Yeah,
I
don't
love
let
the
him come
base-
to the celebration then, Coach. But we didn't do anything alone. I mean, you know, Coach Tom had a great saying, you never get anywhere by yourself. And I was the same way. We had a lot of help with that, and it all started at the top. So it was a pleasure. It really was. I mean, I still have a smile on my face when I think about it.
Oh, I bet. That 97 team, the first baseball champions here at Cowley. I mean, I've seen the pictures of, you know, there was a nice little stage set up outside of the auditorium, and, you know, the people up there giving the speeches and the people out in attendance. It looked like just such a wonderful thing for the community. How was that for you to be able to celebrate that championship?
It was wonderful because you know how I wanted to be the best in everything we did. And we made it in some programs. Basketball was my big disappointment. I tried
So
hard
close.
to get us to the Nationals. I tried so hard to get us there.
Boy, those 2 years with Coach Eck, too, we were so
Coach
close,
Eck,
weren't
we
we?
were so close. Coach Eck, yeah, we were close a couple, 3 times, and we just couldn't get there. But that was probably my greatest disappointment, that we never got to the national tournament. But yeah, the celebrations from baseball, and then of course we brought the volleyball team, the national champions. We had several that made national tennis and cross country. Some of them national champions. It was good, and but yeah, it's wonderful.
No, I think under your leadership, Cowley captured, the 2011 NJCAA Division I National Volleyball Championship, as well as 2 JUCO World Series titles in baseball, 2 championships in men's tennis, national championships in men's and women's cross country. So, I mean, like you said, it wasn't just one thing. You wanted to be the best in everything.
I did. I really did.
And that's a great vision. And you know, yourself and Tom Saya, I just always was amazed at how the people that you guys hired and put in those positions were just perfect fits. It seemed like we've had such legendary coaches. One sitting right here beside me, but we've had such legendary coaches come through Cowley, and you know. But it's been also that you've gave them the tools to be successful.
I did. Tom and I were a great team. We were a great team together, and we developed a really good friendship at the time. And I really think a lot of Tom. And
We used to sit around, and we never told Dr. Pat this story, but we used to call him George for George Steinbrenner. He didn't ask you to win. He kind of told you better win. And we were okay with that. It was like, hey, this is the perfect place. I mean, Coach Tom came in, and that had been building over the years, and Coach Tom came in the mid-'90s, and it's like, okay, this is perfect. I like this. Expectations, that makes us go.
Yeah.
And then he gave us the funds to do that. So it was just the perfect storm.
You know, you mentioned a little bit about how basketball, you got so close there with basketball, and that was one you really wanted. And we were talking a little bit off air, but I remember, I think it was 2020 when the basketball team made their run at the national tournament, and I ran into you, hadn't seen you in a few years, and you and I think it was Albert Backistow and Gene Kohler coming down, and I say, hey, Dr. Pat, and you go, now why in the heck didn't Tommy do this when I was here? First thing out of your mouth. So, so I know you wanted it bad, but it was great to see you there and still supporting the Tigers.
it was really good. I was glad they made it. Yeah.
What's your relationship like with like Gene Cole still and Albert and some of them? Do you still talk to them as well?
We're still good friends. Yeah, we talk by phone occasionally, and like I said, my life has changed quite a bit. You know, with my wife being sick with Parkinson's disease, and
Your wife, Sandy.
my wife Sandy, she's really been real sick, and it's one of the reasons. I know one of the questions you're going to ask me is, what do I like to do in my spare time? Or I would love to be at the baseball games still. I'd love to be at the basketball games. I'd like to come down and support, but I'm just, my job now is to take care of my wife.
Yeah.
And I just can't get away from it. You know, I have to be a caregiver for her, to take care of her, and so I'm limited as to what I can do in terms of going out and doing the things that I love, going to the theater, I'd love to come to the Cowley plays. I'd love to go watch Lefty and the baseball team and the basketball team with Mr. Jack. But I just can't. I can't. I just don't. I just can't get away enough to do it.
Well, we love you, Dr. Pat, and your wife Sandy, and it's very admirable what you're doing. But please pass along. We're sure thinking of her. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now your children. How many children do you guys have?
I have two boys, Danny and Darren. And Danny is they're both retired now, and Danny's in Frisco, Texas. He's retired, and he has 4 children. He has Alexis, Connor, Riley, and Seth, and they're all doing well. They all got good jobs. Alexis is a nurse, and Riley works for Starbucks, and Connor is a big finance guy, gives out loans for housing, is doing really well.
Excellent.
So they're all doing well. And Darren, he was an attorney, in New York City.
Yeah,
He was a partner in New York City for like 20 years or so.
Terrific.
And he's retired now. He's in South Carolina. He has a house on the lake there.
Great.
And he has 4 children himself. He has Ruth, who is at Liberty University, and she's going to be a doctor. She's in medical school.
Good for her.
And Patrick, he's at Liberty. He's going to be a pilot. He wants to be a pilot.
Great.
Yeah. And then the other 2, Lily and Boone, we call him. They're both still in school. They're being homeschooled.
Okay.
So
The family's all doing well then.
they're all doing good. Yeah.
That's terrific.
I do have a question though. His speeches at in-service are legendary.
Love it.
You might be bringing this up. I don't know. I hope I'm not cutting in front of you.
please.
But who was the terrorist grandchild you always talked about? You take fishing and stuff. Which grandchild was that?
Was
Remember
that Connor, or which one was that?
Remember those stories, Rama?
Oh, I loved them. I mean, your in-service speeches, you would talk about, you'd come back after summer and talk about some of the things that happened to you with your grandkids. And, I mean, we would just be
had
dying.
everybody rolling.
Yeah. Well, that was probably Connor. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a problem child.
Well, I got to say, Dr. Schoen, if you're listening to this or you see this podcast, we love the in-services. Nothing against those. It's just that, sometimes some people don't want to go to those things. And we used to love it because you used to just come and you'd have a fun story that we'd all be dying laughing about. And then you'd be, okay, now time for business. And here's what we need to get going. And you'd leave that room just if you weren't fired up, ready to go. I don't know. I mean, you don't have a pulse.
He went fishing. He just reeled us all in with his story.
He did. He'd have us captivated from the start. And then we're
he
all
broke
just
it out on us. Yeah.
his
Let
puppets
me
ready to do
tell
it.
you, I'm really proud of where the college is today. Mm-hmm. I know he went through some presidents who weren't quite so good, but I tell you, Michelle Schoen has done an outstanding job.
She sure has,
She
definitely.
really has done an outstanding job, and I really like where the college is today. And I really like that they kept the sports program strong. We're strong in all our sports.
Yes.
And let me tell you, the thing about it is people love sports. Look at today. With soccer and
Oh, yeah.
NBA basketball, the World Series, the College World Series, people are just enthralled with sports.
Sure are.
So sports is really big, and people in schools, if they can't get to the big universities, they still want to continue their sports and participate in them, and that's why they look at the community college.
That's right.
And that's why I'm glad that we've kept all these sports programs strong. And it's a big part of this college in terms of keeping the numbers up, keeping the enrollment up, because you want to keep the on-campus enrollment strong.
Yes.
And I feel like Michelle's done a great job with that. She's done a good job. And I'm really proud of where the college is today.
Wonderful. I was going to ask you about that, if you kind of follow from afar a little bit about
and
how
the theater's
college
doing
does it.
good. I like they've got the theater going. Everything's going good, I feel like.
Yeah, it sure is. And I'm glad you mentioned the importance of athletics, though. It is. It brings so much to a small campus like this, too. When you have winning athletics, the students have something to do. They're excited to come over to the gym and support the volleyball team or the basketball teams, or they go out to the baseball and softball games, and just it's a great thing for them to be a part of and to experience that and be able to share in the winning success. So
It's the front porch of our college, really. I mean, I learned that from Dr. Pat a long time ago. It's,
thing about
it's not the main
Michelle-
house, but it's the front porch.
The thing about Michelle is, she came through the ranks. She was a faculty member. She was strong on our quality management program, taking leadership in that. She's
AQUIP team.
She was the AQUIP team, and then North Central Association. She was
Yes.
big on writing that. So she was. I mentored her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one thing we need to keep in mind when the leadership in the future is you need somebody that understands the kind of college we are and what the family we are
Yes.
and how we go about doing stuff and not be so concerned with, what the degrees say or whatever else, but who has the heart and the personality to really keep this place the way it needs to be.
That's right.
And Michelle's fulfilled that.
She sure has. When you come to Cowley, when I came to Cowley, I didn't know that this was going to be somewhere I was going to be at for, I don't ever want to leave here. I hope this is my last job I ever have. Coach Dave, you were the same way. You came and never left.
Had chances to leave and just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, this place just becomes home, and it does become a family. We all love each other. We all want what's best for this place and each other. And that's a big part of what your leadership was, though. Gave us all that feeling of a family and allowed us to go do our jobs and gave us what we needed to be successful. So thank you for that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed every minute of my 25 years here. I have. I miss it dearly. I do.
We miss you.
Yeah.
In terms of, when you were president of the college, was there anything that you enjoyed most about the position?
I enjoyed the biggest challenge is personnel. It really is.
Yeah.
Who you hire, and how they do, how well they perform, and sometimes you got to make some changes, and they're not always popular. If you feel like the job's not getting done the way you want it. But I enjoyed the day to day. I enjoyed the looking for the people for the right spots. I enjoyed being a part of all the programs, of sitting in on the classes and seeing people how they're doing, and being a part and really supporting folks in there as they tried to get their programs to be first class. But that's probably my greatest joy was reaching out and supporting everybody who needed help. Yeah.
You know how important it is to have a strong right-hand person by you to be successful. And Dr. Pat, you had someone there with you for all 25 years of it. There was this kind of side-by-side, Libby Moore.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
listen. Oh, yeah. I should.
Tell us what Libby meant to you.
We should not go without mentioning Libby.
No, not at all.
She is such a great person and a great help to me. She was always there for me, always there trying to take care of everything that I needed. She was she wasn't just a secretary. She was an administrative assistant to me, and I loved her dearly. And she was fantastic. I don't know what I could have done without her. She made my life and my job so much better, so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're watching out there, Libby, we love you and miss you. And she was always so great to me, too. Being a young guy when I came in here, you were the president. It was a little intimidating for me. And being in public relations when I took over that role. And Libby just, and then you made me feel so comfortable. And it was so great. And just having her in there she was always so good to talk to and always there for me. And I'm right there with you. She was just the best. So. Yeah. Sure enjoyed having her here for all that time.
She still stays close to me. She calls me all the time and lets me know what's going on. And so she's always in communication with me.
Terrific. Coach, you got some questions for Dr. Pat?
No, I do have one question. I mean, some of those times over in Coach Tom's office, it was legendary. You remember those days, Doc, where it was a rag session. You go in there for 45 minutes, and there was just nothing but it was a constant roar coming out of that dugout. Dr. Pat and Coach Tom were the guys that were initiating all the ragging going on.
Yeah,
You
we
remember
did.
those days?
Yeah, I do remember those days. We had our sessions. We had our disagreements. Sure. And we were always betting on stuff. You know, we're always betting.
Yeah, I don't want to bring that up.
Yeah. But yeah, we'd bet on stuff all the time. There's always one-upsmanship on the other one, trying to, we had that football.
The college football picks. Oh,
college
yeah.
football picks. And that was always, a big challenge for everybody, a competition.
I remember sometimes whenever you might have won or Tom might have won, there'd be a copy of the picks on someone's door there, and letting them know. I'd call over there and Tom would answer the phone and say, Tom's Pick'em service if he won that week. So, those were good times, Dr. Pat. That was a lot of
Really
fun.
good times.
Sure were. Hey, you were inducted into the Tiger Athletic Hall of Fame in 2012, too. Can you tell me what that honor meant to you?
Well, it meant everything to me. Meant that I was a real important part of Tiger Athletics, and it was a special time, special moment. So I was really proud of it. Yes.
Well, and then you also have a building named after you too, the Patrick J. McAtee Dining Center.
Yes.
So tell us about that as well. Whenever they told you that they were going to have that named after you, I'm sure that was quite an honor.
Yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor, and as a cafeteria, I come from a restaurant background, so it made it been even more special that they named that building after me. And I want to mention another guy, Sid Renier.
Yes, thank you.
Sid was my right arm. I could have never done the job for 25 years without Sid. Sid was he was a money manager. And he let me know when, hey, we can do this, we can't do that. We need to watch this. A president has to have somebody that's a right arm that really looks in the deep levels of the finances and keeps you out of trouble. And Sid did that. So I really appreciated him. I really appreciated having him as my business manager. But he did a terrific job, and he was instrumental in all these buildings. He helped with the blueprints and the getting all of them organized and getting the right people in the right place, the builders and the work orders and all that. He was instrumental in all that, and I'm glad he has a building named after him here with the bookstore. And but he was a good man.
Definitely. We mentioned all the buildings and the dorms and all the things that you accomplished during your time here. And then since you retired after 25 years at Cowley, you haven't really been back on campus a lot.
I haven't.
So now that you come down and see something like this that we have down in the basement now.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This is really terrific what you have down here. You've done a great job. This is really, really needed and really nice.
Yeah, it was definitely needed, and it was a great vision that Chris Ripley and others had, and it's something we're very proud of, to be able to have an area down here that our students can come down and we can take their pictures, and Chris can do the hype videos, and it's just a great thing having this podcast area in here.
Let me mention another guy who was really instrumental with me in my years. Bob Paxton.
Oh, yes.
Bobby Paxton was in line with all my thinking, all my philosophies, hit the ground running, terrific guy, terrific friend, and pushed programs. He developed programs, that we would have never had without him. He expanded the programs, but he really did a terrific job, and he was the right arm of Dean of Instruction. He was really good. I still stay connected with him. He's still a good friend. I see him now and then. He stops by to see me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We talk, it's funny, I watched a movie about a week ago, my wife and I did, I think it was last Friday, the Dream Team with Michael Keaton. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it just makes me think of the Dream Team when I think of, Dr. Pat, and he's talking about all these names of people. It really was. It was, it was it took a lot of individuals to make this place what it is today. And what a group they were, weren't they?
Hall of Famers on both sides of the street, we used to say. Talk about Miss Ewing and Connie and Scott and on and on and on. Everybody was a Hall of Famer.
Sure was. Just made everybody want to raise that bar. Everybody wanted to try to do as well as everybody else was doing, right?
Absolutely. You couldn't let anybody down. That's what it was.
For sure. Well, Dr. Pat, this has been so fun to be able to visit with you today. I know, like you say, you don't really get a lot of free time right now to be able to do a lot since you're taking care of your wife, Sandy, but we sure hope that, that her health's going to be better, and I'm so glad to hear that your kids and grandkids are all doing well, and don't be a stranger. We sure hope to see you back here around a lot more,
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Coach, do you have anything else for Dr. Pat?
I just sit here and just listen. I've been like a kid in school.
Yeah, well, it's been great, Dr. Pat. And I hate to bore you with this, but I got to do my joke of the day, all right?
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay, well, here we go, guys. You ready for this one? I told my wife, and this didn't go over well, but I told her I spent $100 on a belt. She said, "That's a big waste." What do you think, Coach?
Yeah. Doc, you were in theater, or he was in comedy when he was in college. He can't get it out of his system right now.
No. Hey, and I got to tell you, Dr. Pat, too, I'm sorry. We can't wrap this up. We could go forever. But, you were so great with Chris and I, too. We talked about some of the putting on the hits, the Cinderfella stuff. I mean, you dressed up as Lady Gaga for us for a thing we did one time. So you were always so acceptable and willing to do that. And so thank you so much for doing that. Wow. It made you so relatable to the students, too. They loved that. I loved being able to see you up on stage in a different role, and that was always great.
I really enjoyed those putting on the hits, yeah.
We had good times.
Yeah.
Well, some of the events going on at Cowley, guys. I was down at the softball camp this morning at Cowley, and they had over 65 people in attendance, so age 5 to 12. Cool. Great job. Jenny Hoyt and her team's doing down there with the camp. Got a Board of Trustees meeting on Monday, July 20th. At the Patrick J. McAtee Dining Center in the President's Dining Room. That'll be at 6 o'clock. Also, we got volleyball camps coming up July 27th through the 31st. The annual Blitz Drive Athletic Department fundraiser will be held on Tuesday, July 28th. And the Tiger Skins Brian Groves Golf Tournament will be coming up on Saturday, August 1st. So you can go to cowleytigers.com to find out more information or reserve a spot in one of those camps or golf tournament. And we'd like to thanks, as always, to Cowley College creative media producer and the man behind the podcast, Chris Ripley. Thank you very much, Chris, for all you do to bring this to everyone. And Dr. Pat, thank you again so much. It's been our pleasure today to have you here.
Thank you.
And sure hope to be able to have you back again.
Thank you. Okay.
Everybody, for episode 24 of the Behind the Stripes podcast, I'm Rama, Peroo, Coach Dave Burroughs. We'll see you next time.